want to just special thought about these 4 days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. I believe these were the four most important days of the entire year because these are the days we take the avoda of Elul, Rosh Hashanah, Saraswat, Tshuva, Yom Kippur, and those are all days of fear. Sukkot, tremendous avos Hashem, closeness to Hashem, joy, symbols of Shoeva, dancing, singing, rejoicing. To make that transition, the time that we make that transition is during the 4 days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. And it's not an easy transition. We know the famous Arizal says Yom Kippur is Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, person reaches heights, Ne'ilah, Ameni Shmi Rahaba, turning to Hashem, the last moment of the Gzar Din, as the books of life and death have been closed. But all that, says the Arizal, pales in comparison to Purim, because Purim is a day of joy. And taking all of the avoda of the days of El, Rosh Hashanah, Saraswat, Tshuva, and Yom Kippur, and then transforming it into joy, it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task. And really, the way to do it is to take that avoda, that passion, and that closeness, all the days of El, Rosh Hashanah, Saraswat, Tshuva, and Yom Kippur, let's get closer and closer to Hashem. And once we're there, we hit Yom Kippur, we're totally clean. Now we're standing in front of Hashem. And there's one last thing, and this is the way to make the transition, is the mitzvahs. Buying a lulav, an esrog, daled minim, making a sukkah, getting ready, all the preparations, buying a wife a gift. As the Brisker Rav once said, a person was looking for an esrog on a year when Sukkot was Shabbos, he says, esrog this year is derabbanan, but buying a wife a gift is deraisa. All of these mitzvahs, I say, positive mitzvahs, as Rabbeinu Yonah says, that the way to come close to Hashem, the way to come to truth Abba Hashem, so mitzvah, say, all of these mitzvahs, immersing ourselves in these mitzvahs. Not to forget about Talmud Torah. Right? There's a certain panic during days, especially when you have a Shabbos in between. Shabbos, Erev Shabbos, Motzi Shabbos. A very short time to get everything done. There's a certain panic that takes place. But to make time every single day to learn Torah, to daven properly, and to cherish this closeness to Hashem. The Chasam Sofer said that during these days he wasn't able to do anything except to write songs of love to Baruch. They asked his son, your father was Rosh Yeshiva, he wrote Shais and Shuvas, he wrote Chidush on Shas, and on the Chumash. How do you have time to write songs? Right? And his son said, it was during these 4 days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, these 4 days, it was so close to the Baruch. You just have to express it through writing shiras to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, writing song to Hashem. So let's not squander these days. Let's make the most of these days, and especially in our tefillas, and taking time for Torah, and getting ready for the simcha of Sukkot. In order to make this transformation from Yom Kippur to Sukkot, it requires a vote. It requires doing the mitzvahs, Yishav Dat, and being careful not to do the mitzvahs in a frenzy way. Be very careful. You're looking at daled minim, make sure not to invalidate them. Your wife or your husband asks you to do something, or even if you're very, very pressured, you'll be pressured. Your children, make sure that your children get the proper love and attention and kindness that they need. But realize the special nature of these days and how precious they are. And the more precious a day is, the more the Yetzer Hara will try to take us away. Right? I remember one year looking at, stepping back for 5 minutes and just watching people on the days before Sukkot. Everybody's running around and it's beautiful. Beautiful people are running through the mitzvahs. Yeah? But be careful not to, while you're doing the mitzvahs, be careful not to lose sight of what the goal is. And the goal is tremendous closeness to Hashem. Hashem should help us achieve this closeness and be closer and closer to Him. These special days, and our sukkah should be filled with joy, happiness, and inspiration. Amen. Came through.